doing? April 18, 2017. In today's video, I'm going to show you what I call cloud control and how they use the clouds to cover up the sun simulator at sunset and sunrise. I think that's when it's most visible to see these guys working up there and moving around. And every time I go through, like just the last month of photos and videos, every time I see new things, where they're coming and going from them is where I'm really trying to pay attention to right now. And man, there's so much activity going on. I've kind of slowed down on taking the photos because of my stuff getting hacked, and now my main camera is shot, so I'm a camera down. So it's having a little bit of a hard time trying to find a new replacement, because it was just a particular one. It just had a really good quality camera, and the price was right. But I'll find one here soon. But I got so much to go over with you anyways. And so in these photos that I'm showing you now, so right around 2 minutes, I want you to start looking really closely at these photos. These are photos that I use to, just besides the ones that are, extremely close and where you can see the lenses in the sun simulator. I'm more emphasizing on where the sun is at in the sky, and how the clouds hide it, and how they use the clouds to hide it. And a lot of those pictures, I call it the sun in the clouds. It's just proving what I've been telling you about the sun being in the atmosphere. There's no way it's in space. But as it goes over my town and over the lake I live on, there's always, no matter how cloudy it is or anything, there's always a reflection in the water where this thing is at. I want you to pay attention to it. It's a really, really bright spot. No matter how cloudy it is, it's always there. And in some of the photos, you can see it coming out of the top of the clouds and the sides of the clouds. They always try to use like a group of clouds to hide it. They do like a mainstream of clouds, and they use HARP for the mainstream. And then they use the next reds localized to feed the HARP stream. And you'll see it. It looks like a super highway of clouds. And you can tell that they're moving them by the magnetic charge in the clouds. It gives it a ripple effect on the bottom. It looks like fish scales or like really choppy waves. You'll know what I'm talking about. You'll see it. That's a magnetic charge to push it, and that goes along with another theory I've always talked about, is the sun simulator is highly magnetic. I believe they're using like a certain type of technology up there. I seen a halo above the machine in a few photos back in January, and it looked just like the CERN technology. So I think if that is the case, it explains why it's so magnetic, and my cameras will malfunction a lot of times. Right, like when I call it the window, right before the window and during the window, the Sony Cyber Shot, if there's no clouds in the sky, is non-functioning when you try to take a picture of the sun. Now, after the window, a few minutes after the window, it's functioning again. So as it's going over me, that's when it starts messing with my camera, especially the Sony Cyber Shot, because it's a bigger camera, it's more sensitive. But yeah, I mean, all my cameras except for the only thing that hasn't messed up from it was the iPhone 4. But that's not a really good camera in that phone, and I wouldn't want to use that to show you pictures. But yeah, that's what I used when I first started, though. And I mean, even that helped me get an idea where this thing's at and what was going on. But I mean, as you look at these photos, you can clearly see that This, this thing is very close. It goes over my head, goes over my town, it goes over the lake I live on, and they try to use the clouds to hide it. And you'll see it. Just look up at your sky, and you'll see how they stream it. It's pretty wild. I mean, it's pretty genius. I think the harp sends it, and now they have the sun simulators to for a point, for the magnetic point. So it makes it easier to control. That's how they're getting such a good tight stream. Before they weren't getting such a tight stream, but now they got the sun simulators to get it. It's like bouncing energy off of one magnet to the other. So that's how they're doing this, and I'll probably leave you with a little bit of music and maybe a little bit of silence. I don't know, but I just want you to check out these photos. They're pretty cool. It's a change of pace, and it's I don't know. It just really shows you how awesome the Earth really is. I mean, it's a pretty big place. They're messing it up pretty good. I mean, we're not helping none neither. So remember that when you throw your crap on the floor and on the ground. Y'all take care. You have a good week.